For problem number 5, I'm going to do the same thing that I did before, confirm that I'm in standard form and that I have every term accounted for. If not, I'm going to have to put in some zeros. So I have a 3 here, a 2. Ooh, I don't have an x to the first power, just a plain x, so I'm going to have to insert a 0 as a placeholder. And then I have a plus 9. You could go ahead if you wanted to and kind of give yourself a note to remind you that you need to put in a 0x at this point. Then I have x minus 3, and that's good. It's got a first power and a constant. Remember that we are going to set up our box, our half box, and put our k value out here in the front. This time our k value is a positive 3 because I see a negative. And then I'm going to write my coefficients. I have a negative 1 in front of x to the third, followed by a 4. And then here's where I need to insert that 0. I'm making it a different color so it'll stand out to you. And then a 9. And we're going to do the same steps that we did in the last problem. I'd like you to pause the video here and see if, now that we've got this one set up, that you can go ahead and do the rest of the steps and write this solution as a quotient plus a remainder over the divisor. Okay, let's see how you did. So the first step is to bring down the negative 1 and write it as the first entry in our quotient line. Then we take negative 1 and multiply by 3. Remember to write it up and to the right, so negative 3 goes here. 4 minus 3 gives me a positive 1, and I'm ready to repeat the multiply add. 1 times 3 will give me a positive 3. 0 plus 3 will give me a positive 3. And then 3 times 3 gives me the 9 that I'll write diagonal and up. Here, 9 plus 9 is 18. Remember to label these starting with remainder on the far right, followed by constant, x, x squared, and that's where we stop on this one. We don't have any more terms to label with an x to the third or fourth or anything. So using that and putting our constants and variables back together, I have a negative 1x squared that I would just write as a negative x squared. 1x gets written as a plus x, plus 3, and then finally plus 18 divided by x minus 3, my divisor right here as the final answer.